You hear a lot about Susan Rice and should she be UN Secretary of State, and are the Republicans just picking on her because they're racist, as was said by a bunch of idiots in the Congress. Everything is racist. Every criticism of any person of color is racist. Now, it's true she's worth $24 to $48 million. That's what we know of. Nothing wrong with that. After all, we're not communists here in the savage nation. But you didn't know is that her father is the former governor of the Federal Reserve System. Again, nothing wrong with that unto itself. You don't know that her mother, Lois, is a guest scholar at the ultra-liberal Brookings Institution. Unto itself, nothing wrong with that. You don't know that Susan Rice is a protege of Madeleine Albright. Nothing wrong with that on the face of it. You see, there's nothing wrong with any of those individual facts. However, when you put them together, there's a pattern that emerges. And now that's connected to the portfolio of United Nations Ambassador Susan Rice, because it includes hundreds of thousands of dollars in several energy companies known for doing business with the terrorist nation of Iran. Now, that is a problem, I would suspect, for Susan Rice and for Barack Obama, and why he is so wooden-headed about this and won't acknowledge that she's a bad choice. He's giving up an awful lot of his capital on Susan Rice, and he doesn't need to do that. And that poses another question. Why is he backing her so fiercely? The fact of the matter is the next Secretary of State will have to have a showdown with Iran over its nuclear weapons program. So if a woman's invested in companies doing business in Iran, how seriously can you expect that she will negotiate against Iran with regard to their nuclear energy, right? By the 11th or 12th century, the Muslims or the Arabs and the Jews and the Christians were working together in relative harmony. What you see going on in the world now is a product of the Wahhabi sect of Islam, a hate-filled sect being funded to the nth degree by you. Every time you put gas in your tank, you're sending money to those despicable throwbacks in Saudi Arabia, those hateful kings and princes who are funding the Wahhabi sect, which is poisoning the minds of millions of Muslims around the world, which is not the way to go, which is why, by the way, you should drill off the coast of California, you should frack, you should bring oil in on the Keystone Pipeline, and you should let them pound sand in Saudi Arabia so they stop funding the Wahhabi sect of hate around the world. This is to tie it all together to you at the gas pump. You have no control over it. You are basically over a barrel. Obama said no Keystone Oil Pipeline. He didn't want oil from Canada, low sulfur oil from Canada. No, he wants it to come from Saudi Arabia, and perhaps so does Susan Rice, to bring it all back to her. Perhaps she wants the oil to flow from Iran in order to make certain that her investments continue to be watered and to grow, which, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, who can read between the lines, should understand who she really is, why she invests in Iran, why she lied about the death of the Libyan ambassador, and why she's not only unqualified to be Secretary of State, but frankly, there should be an investigation of how she ever became the U.S. ambassador to the UN. Who put her up to that? Why? What did they get from it?